If you're following all the messaging strategies and still not seeing the results that you really want, the results that you know are possible, stick around because this video I am going to explain all the mistakes that I'm seeing human design types making in their messaging that is costing them. It's costing you clients, it's costing you magnetism within your message. Before we dive into that, I have a little announcement. I am over the moon excited to share that I will be speaking at a live event. I haven't been to a live event since pre-COVID. Anyone else? I am so excited. The Soul Summit is happening March 3rd and 4th in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm going to be speaking on stage, sharing a whole bunch of stuff on magnetic messaging, workshopping. And what I love about this particular summit is that it is geared towards spiritual entrepreneurs and really it's the mix of energy, right? It's the energy and it's the strategy. It's showing us how we can do things our way, how we can really embrace the way that we are designed and our energy works and still have a thriving, amazing, successful business. So if you're in the Nashville area or if you want to come join me, I would absolutely love to see you. I'm going to put the link below so you can check it out. But I am like over the moon excited to be just a part of a movement of women that are saying we're doing it our way. We're not doing it the way that everyone says that it's supposed to work and all of that. No, we're doing it our way. So, okay, well, let's get into this topic around the things that I'm seeing people making mistakes. And this is said with so much love. I've made these mistakes in the past as well, and it just is part of learning, right? It's part of figuring out how you work and how you do business, right? Before we dive into those specific mistakes of each human design type, I want to explain first creating a magnetic message because it's going to help you understand the mistakes that you're making, right? So with a magnetic message, there are 3 pillars really that we need to understand in order to create that magnetic message. And the first one is your energy. This is the not forcing it, right? This is understanding your authentic way of using your voice. It's the energy you have behind your message. It's that alignment piece that all of us spiritual entrepreneurs love to talk about, right? It's the energy. That is the first pillar to understand is how does your energy work? What are you here to say? How do you want to say it? All of that. The second pillar is clarity. Clarity around who you're speaking to, as well as clarity around your gifts, the problems that you love to solve, really understanding exactly what you're here to do in this moment, right? Someone mentioned to me the other day that they're like, but what if I want to do something else in the future? Like, girl, I'm with you. I'm a Manu Jen. I don't do anything for very long. Like the idea of doing a job for 40 years of my life and then I retire sounded like death to me. Like, just hang me up to dry. I'm done. I can't do it. So I get it. I totally get it. But in this moment, there is something that you are called to do. There is something that a problem, a way of being that you feel is your greatest gift in this moment, right? I know that right now, helping people with their messaging is what I'm here to do. It is indisputable. I cannot get away from it. It is like, this is what I'm here to do right now. May that change in 5, 10, 15? Absolutely, probably. More likely than not. But right now, this is what I'm here to do, and getting clear on exactly what problems you light up to solve for someone, the perfect person that has that problem, right? The person that's ready to solve that problem, and that transformation that you know you can get people. That's the clarity. We need to find clarity around all of that. So that the third pillar being resonance, so that when you speak It has resonance with the people that you want to attract. It has that, what is it? I'm going to massacre it. Kinisawa. Oh my God. The French word, the French phrase. It's like perfect. Chef's kiss, right? That's the resonance that we're reaching for when we understand exactly who we are in this moment, right? We get to evolve, but who I am right now, how I like to express myself, what I want to express, along with the clarity of the problems I love to solve, and for who, we get this resonance that makes your dream client go, oh my God, I feel so seen and heard. They're whipping out their wallets. Like, that's what they're like, I can't help but work with you. I have to work with you. So we have to understand those three, right? Before we jump into why are these mistakes even happening, right? Why are we getting pulled into these ways of doing things that aren't really aligned, right? And it's fascinating because we all fall into these traps because the quote unquote right way to do things is so prevalent in the online space. Everyone and their mother, I mean, I guess myself included in this, are spewing how things should be done. How should you show up? How should you package your offers? How should you structure your business? How, right? And it makes us feel like I need the how. Tell me how. Tell me, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, tell me how. Give me the steps that I need to do in order to have the successful business. And I am here to tell you, no one has those answers for you. They are inside of you. I wrote a newsletter this week on creativity, that it is our creativity, our own following of our excitement and passions and creativity that ultimately builds the successful, thriving business. We can do it by following someone else's step-by-step and whatever, but it ultimately ends up being a business that we aren't lit up about, or that feels like a job, or that feels like something that it wasn't what we intentionally set out to build, right? And the only way that we can build a business that's truly ours, that's truly the way that we want to show up, that's supportive of us, that's expansive, that allows us the expression that we want and that we deeply need, I believe, is following our own creativity, is following our own authority, right? Whatever your authority is in human design, sacral, emotional, splenic, talking it out, whatever. Following that authority and trusting your own unique process is what ultimately leads to the successful business. It's not someone's how-to step-by-step. Does that make sense? Okay. So if we dive into each human design type, I can almost guarantee you, if you come to me and you say, my message isn't working, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, it's not landing with clients, or it's not landing the way I want or as good as I want, right? I feel like it's just kind of boring and meh, right? It's because likely of one of these things. And it goes hand in hand with your human design type. It gets nuanced beyond that, but we'll stick with the human design type for this video. Okay, so manifestors. The mistake that I'm seeing, hands down, is that you are holding back and waiting for permission. You're holding back on sharing that vision that you see. You're holding back on sharing that bold statement, that thing that might push the edge just a little bit or a lot. You're holding back on it and you're not sharing it. That right there is your gold. That is what sets you apart. When you try to appease everyone or, tell them, give them all the details even, right? You don't need to give them all the details. You just need to show up, show them where the vision is. Where are you freaking taking people? And say the shit that you want to say. That's your goal. That's like where you need to be. And the mistake is not doing that, diluting not sharing it, keeping it secret, or dumbing it down, right? All right, generators. Your mistake is talking about all the things you think you should be talking about, not the things that are actually lighting you up. Every single time I talk to a generator and they're like, oh, I don't know. Like I try to talk about these things and they like try to get their energy behind it, which I get it. I've done that too, right? Like I can get my energy behind anything, right? But I don't want to have to get behind anything. I want it to be innate. I want it to come from me automatically without me having to get behind it, right? Generators are oftentimes doing the thing they should, doing the things they should be doing or think they should be doing, right? Creating the offer that should sell, or talking to the ideal client they should be talking to, right? The one that makes the most money or whatever. The should is lengthy, but you're not doing what actually lights you up. The thing that actually lights you up probably feels scary, right? Or the other one I see with generators is that your passion, you feel like you should be able to make a profit from your passion. And being in that should make a profit from my passion, you actually dilute and put so much pressure on that passion that it cuts it off and it makes it not viable, right? So instead of going, well, I should do this or I should be able to do that, what is actually lighting you up in this very moment that feels light and expansive? Because the should is going to feel heavy. The should is going to feel like you're cramming yourself into a box and you have to carry the weight of the world. The excitement, the passion comes from this place of lightness. It comes from this place of like, ooh, wouldn't it be fun to do XYZ? Or wouldn't it be amazing to do XYZ? That's the mistake I'm seeing, is that you're not following the lightness. You're not following the expansive feeling. You're finding the thing you should be doing, right? Okay. Manifesting generators. I'm a many gen. And we try to, it's like this. We try to put ourselves into a box with a niche or a strategy or making ourselves consistent in some way. And we're not meant to be any of that. Like, I can attest to this week alone has been wild and so freaking fun and expansive, and also shows me how much I have limited myself in my own Mani-Gen energy and how much I put the brakes on things. And when I'm not, I get to talk about whatever the hell I want to. I can show up whenever the hell I want to and be whatever the hell I want to. And it works as long as it's feeling like this lightness. This is who I am in this moment. I don't place limitations on it. I'm allowing it to be as expansive and open as I can allow, right? Many gens also love to think that if we niche, life is going to be easier, and it actually makes things harder, right? It actually, by boxing ourselves in, we place so many other blocks on our path that it's the path of most resistance. Instead of allowing ourselves to do whatever we want, that's not even the right phrase, but do business the way that we want, right? With messaging, oftentimes we'll explain that messaging for many gens is blending things together, but it can be more the manifestor vision or the passion and the excitement process of the generator. It really depends on your specific energy and who you are. But when we box ourselves into it has to look a certain way, we completely dampen and dilute who we are, because we're like shiny, freaking, like everyone's shiny. Everyone's their own, what is it? Everyone has their own crown of a different color. It's from a little kid's book. And we do. But the manage-gen energy really, the more that we try to box it in, the more that you will feel frustrated. And the more that you allow it to be as expansive as you want, the more that you find freedom in that, the more that you find people are magnetized to it, the more that you elevate your own energy and the people respond to that energy. So the biggest thing I see is you boxing yourself in. So don't do that. The other thing, a little trick to feeling like if your messaging feels like it's all over the place is using the things that you're blending to kind of be that glue. But then also anytime you're sharing something, it's tying back to that unique selling point, right? So if I'm going down a rabbit hole of AI, how does that relate to messaging, right? Or if I'm going down a rabbit hole of gene keys, how does that relate to my messaging? And just allowing these different paths and rabbit holes, but tying it all back to the thing I want to be known for in this moment. Okay, projectors, over explaining. And trying to prove your worth are the biggest pieces that I see projectors doing in their messaging that's blocking them from being truly magnetic in their messaging. Over-explaining looks like writing that novel, right? Like you're convincing people that your offer is amazing instead of just showing up and being like, this is amazing and here it is. You want to join, right? Like there's such it's a little bit of a subtle nuance in, are you over-explaining and being in that energy of convincing? I think if you are dabbling too much in objections and trying to prove the value, saying like, using those more masculine tricks of like, this is normally $2,000, but today you get it for $35, right? That kind of proving your worth in those manipulations, right? And instead of just showing up and being like, this is amazing, here's why, or here's like the evidence and the testimonials and the transformation, I'm going to solve your problem. Okay. So don't be writing a novel. Okay. Reflectors, I'm seeing you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to, again, conform to some type of messaging strategy or business strategy, when really your energy is so fluid, it's so chameleon-like that you need to give yourself a lot more room to play, a lot more room to talk about whatever is coming up, right? I love when I see reflectors creating a community where they can have people in this community that deeply want their insights and their wisdom, right? Like they just get to show up. This reflector just gets to show up and share what they're seeing in the collective, with clients, with themselves, and sharing that wisdom that gives their clients the big aha that they've been searching for, the piece that they've been missing, right? And the reflector just gets to stand there as a mirror and be like, here you go, right? So there is no one right way for a reflector. There's only your way. And I believe that for like everyone, but truly, truly for reflectors, like your chameleon girl, you got all these open centers. You get to really decide what is yours, what's not yours, and which direction do you want to go. It's like amazing. It's a buffet, buffet of life. So those are the big mistakes that I'm seeing. And when it comes to creating your own magnetic message, understanding that it's your energy first, then finding the clarity and the resonance, right? Understanding that the way that you want to show up, the way that things that you want to talk about, how you want to talk about it, that it gets to be the way that you want it to be. It doesn't have to look like anyone else. It doesn't have to be someone else's strategy. This is you. You call the shots. So if you want more information on your own specific chart, I have a custom report that you can grab below. It tells you exactly how to use different aspects of your human design in your messaging to create that magnetic message. And yeah, I'd love to see you in Nashville if you're interested and available. It's going to be freaking amazing. Love to have coffee or drinks. It's going to be so good. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.